Paul Morphy's IQ was insane. I still can't get over this game. In fact, for this game, I'm putting on some shades, boys. True story, I actually bought these when I was out with a girl, and I was trying to impress her, and I had absolutely no idea what to do. So my best bet was to get these sunglasses, hoping I could look like Tom Cruise. However, the whole day was an absolute failure. Anyway, the game was played between Paul Morphy and Charles Le Carpenter, who was actually Paul Morphy's uncle. It was played in 1849 in the United States, and let's just get into it. So what actually makes this game very special is that this game was actually played with Paul Morphy missing a rook. He gave his uncle rook odds. It literally makes zero difference. So it doesn't matter at all, but it just makes this game just even more impressive. Honestly, brace yourself for this. I can't watch this game with just my eyes. I need a bit of protection. It's that nasty. So Paul Morphy opens up with e4, the most alpha way to start the chess game. We now see e5 and now knight f3, pretty standard stuff. Knight c6, defending this pawn as it was being attacked by this knight on f3, and now we see the move d4, the Scotch game. The Scotch game is a very popular chess opening. Here black can either take with the knight, can even take like this, and we can even enter the Napoleon gambit invented by Napoleon the Great Conqueror, or here black can take with the pawn, which is played 97.5% of the time, and this is what was seen in the game. And now most people take this pawn back with the knight. However, Paul Morphy is very far from most people and goes bishop c4. Bear in mind, he's down a rook here, and he's not even grabbing his pawn back. I mean, probably doesn't want to exchange more material, to be fair. We now see the move bishop b4 check, really trying to exchange material, because when you're up material already in the chess game, you really want to keep trading pieces, because in the end game, your material advantage will be a lot more noticeable. And also, if a side with the more material can keep exchanging pieces, then they don't have to worry about losing to a checkmate attack, because when there's less pieces, it's a lot harder to attack the king. So here, Paul Morphy simply goes c3. We now see dc3. Uncle Morphy's pretty happy here, and now instead of taking back, Paul Morphy castles his king, saying, you know what, take this pawn as well. And this is what we're seeing in the game. And here Morphy retakes his pawn and puts his bishop on this lovely a1 to h8 diagonal. And can we just appreciate Morphy's bishops here? Double bishop, this bishop is locked in. Black's position is looking, you know, a bit passive, and Morphy's got lots of open files, and yeah, things are about to kick off. And now Unk plays the best move here and goes bishop f8, defending this pawn. If you were to proceed normally with a move like a6, then whoops, white will be completely back in the game, winning back a rook of their own with a very pleasant position, so you have to be careful here. So after bishop b2, we saw bishop f8, still very passive, but defending this pawn. And now Morphy plays the lovely move, and he goes e5, just pushes his pawn up the board. We now see d6, and Morphy doesn't take here, he goes rook e1, aligning his rook along this king. Notice how this king is not blocked by any bishops or knights. The king is actually quite vulnerable, and at the end of the day, the king is all what matters in chess. If you win the king, you win the game. And Paul Morphy took this mentality to a whole nother level. So he went rook e1 here, actually threatening to take here, as it would unleash a deadly check. So for that reason, the threat of this is quite high, because if you play like something like this, then oops, ed5, and we hit this, and you can't really block, because then we take that. So after rook e1, de5 is played. Morphy's uncle probably thought, okay, I might be exchanging some queens, and good news for him, he is exchanging queens, because knight e5 is played. And here Uncle Morphy simply plays queen d1. Why would you not exchange queens? You're up material, it makes sense, but Uncle Morphy was not ready for this next move, because bishop f7 check. As you see, the king cannot take here as the knight supports this bishop. King e7 was seen, however, the best move here was king d8. And you will see exactly why this was the best move, because after king e7, we now see knight g6. Check. And the problem here for black is wherever the king goes, the problem is white can take back with check and can win this rook. And remember, white is down a whole rook here. So if white wins back a rook, then he's just in the game. So after knight g6, this king doesn't have any really good moves. All of them are quite good for white. However, the king has one horrible move, and that is king f7, taking the bishop. Shouldn't this just be the best move? Well, the next move will shock you. And here, knight h8, checkmate. This has to be the nastiest checkmate I've ever seen. I've never seen a knight checkmate with this knight on h8. It's almost like a reversed smothers mate. By the way, this king cannot go anywhere here as the rook covers it off. Can't go to f6 as this bishop on b2 cuts it off. And it can't go to g6 as this knight cuts it off. So just brilliant stuff by Morphy. Down a rook, by the way, but, you know, as I said at the start, the rook literally made zero difference. So a very nice game from Paul Morphy. If you want to see more games of Paul Morphy's, like and subscribe. Thank you for your time and attention, and if you're interested in any of my other videos, I've got some right here. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.